Shalom, this is your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the brothers that are doing this work in true sincerity. We're going to jump right into the Psalms, the first chapter. And let's go ahead and give verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly." Now, the ungodly, that if you read a little footnote, it pertains to the wicked, you know what I'm saying? So, the counsel of the ungodly is basically, let's get that word counsel. It says advice, the purpose, the plan, the advice, implication, plan, prudence, counsel, purpose. So it's the ways in the fashions and the dealings of the wicked. So we're not to walk in those ways. What does the scripture say in the book of Proverbs? It says, "Envy not the oppressor," right? Let's go ahead and get that. This is Proverbs 3:31. It says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways or his counsel." Going back to Psalms, the first chapter, man, 1 and 1. So let's go back to that. It says, "Blessed is the man," and blessed is the man. This is specifically speaking of a man of the Lord that walketh not in the counsel or the ways of the wicked, nor standeth in the way of sinners. Now, who are the sinners? The sinners are 2/3 of our people. It says sinners, sinful, exposed to condemnation, reckoned as offenders, because who were the only ones that had the ability or capability to sin? Those that were given the covenant, which are the Israelites. So the sinners are the breakers of the covenant, which we once were, man. But we have been, most high willing, we have been redeemed by Yahweh Shai. But let's run this back again. "Blessed is the man that walks not the counsel of godly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." So basically, it speaks of a separation. The blessed man, or the man of the Lord, he's going to have a separation from the wicked, from the 2/3, for those that backbite and murmur, which are the scornful, those that hate the truth. So this speaks about a man separating himself from the rest of basically the world. Let's get Proverbs 23 and 17. This is Proverbs 23 and 17. And it says, "Let not thine heart envy sinners." 2/3 of our people, because you'll see the sinners of our people. You'll see them prosper in this life. You'll see them get all the goodies and benefits of this life, man. And like we mentioned in previous lessons, the man of the Lord is built for adversity, and he's built to take L's or losses. "But be thou in fear of the Lord all the day long." See that? So that requires a separation, man. Let's go back to Psalms, the first chapter. So it said, "Blessed man that walk not counsel of godly, nor stand the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scornful." Let's go Proverbs 24. There's a lot of precepts you can get for this particular chapter. It says, Proverbs 24:1, "Be thou not envious against evil men. Do you desire to be with them?" See, once again, it speaks of separation. "For the heart studies destruction, the lips talk of mischief. Through wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding is established." And that's the blessed man right there. And it's going to describe that blessed man further in the psalm. "By knowledge of the shame you feel was all precious, and pleasant riches. A wise man is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increases strength." So, that's spiritual strength, man. So that's what you got to look for. That's what you got to strive for, to be that blessed man. And part of being that blessed man is walking in the spirit of separation. It says, "But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and the law does he meditate day and night." So going back to Psalm 24 chapter, Proverbs 24, Salak. Let's see here. Proverbs 24:3, "The wisdom is a house builded, and by understanding it shall be established. By knowledge shall the name shame be filled with all precious and pleasant riches." So it speaks about knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, right here. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Going back to Psalms, the first chapter, That's how we read the Bible, by making up precepts. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. And what is the law of the Lord? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. His law does he meditate? Get the word meditate. Ponder by talking to oneself day and night. It says meditate, to moan, growl, utter, muse, to mutter, meditate, devise, plot, to speak, to roar, growl, groan, to utter, speak, to meditate, devise, to muse in mind, to utter, to mutter. So to mutter, you're speaking to yourself. And that's a good thing to do throughout the day, man, to speak to yourself scriptures, to speak to yourself, to pray, man, to pray. Pray inside your mind as you're working, as you're driving, as you're doing things, while you're lying in bed, pray. Praying is a form of meditation. Meditation is a form of prayer. But his law is in the light of the Lord. So our delight isn't to be in the spiritual state. That's exactly what being the law of the Lord is being in that state of knowledge and wisdom, understanding. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, that brings forth his fruit in season. That's talking about your works, man. Having works. A tree planted by the rivers of water. What is the water? Water is the word. The scriptures talk about the out of your belly shall. I'm just go ahead and get it. Out of your belly shall flow living waters. So that belly is the spirit of the word of the Lord, man. Let's go ahead and get that. Where is it at? Yes, John 7:38. As he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly. Let's get the footnote from belly. His heart shall flow rivers of living water. So you see that? So let's go back to verse 3. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers, the channels of water. And those rivers and channels of water is hey, that could be likened to all the videos that apostles put out, that brothers put out. Those are channels, those are different rivers of water, all flowing to the same place. Because all of the core was the word. That brings forth his fruit in his season. Those fruit, of course, is your works. That leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever we do, it shall prosper. And that goes back to the true vine, which is Yahweh Shai. Let's go ahead and get that. This is John 15:1. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it. Let's get the word purges. Prunes it. That's the affliction and the trials that we go through. That it may bring forth more fruit. So let's go back to Psalms 1, man. It says, he shall be like the tree planted by the raging waters, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. The leaf also shall not wither. Now keep that in mind. And whatsoever you do, it shall prosper. Now keep that in mind, man. It says, every branch that bears not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now you are clean through the words that are spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. Without me ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered. See that? And men gathereth them, and cast them into fire, and they are burned. Let's go back to Psalms, the first chapter. And this says right here, it says, his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever you do shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but like the shaft with the wind drives away. So going back to John, that's what we just read. That's the ungodly, or the wicked, or that could be likened to the 2/3 also too. Because those could be interchangeable in certain scriptures. That gets cut off from the true vine. So therefore the ungodly shall not stand in judgment, nor the sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. So basically, the Psalms, the first chapter, it speaks about separation. It speaks about a man of the Lord separating himself from basically the whole world. And it speaks about his mind and his mentality as going to be purposed and meditative in prayer and in thought of these scriptures. And in doing so, he will bring forth fruit or increases his talent for Yahweh Shai, which is going to allow him to prosper, prosper spiritually. And in this material world too, because the Lord will give you blessings, man. You always got to remember that with the Lord, He's all about balance. So with all the hell that He gives you, expect blessings in return too. There's always got to be a balance. There's always got to be seasons of hell, and there's going to be seasons of blessing. The scriptures in Ecclesiastes, they talk about seasons for different things. So there's a season for us to catch hell and stake hells, and to be persecuted and be tried and tested. And there's going to be a season for us to prosper like never before. So that being said, it's a real quick lesson, man. Meditating on this Psalm, the first chapter. Most High willing and hope is edifying. With that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Kal Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Let's keep on pushing. Shalom.